Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today, in War Thunder, it is time to have a look at a new vehicle, which is coming to the game. And normally we find out about new vehicles through dev blogs, but this time, it's actually through a video, which is kind of interesting. Kind of a little sneak peek into what is coming in the next update, and also maybe some cool events. So, Gaijin released on the Russian side of things this video. They didn't actually put it on the English side of the website, only the Russian side of the website. And what the title says is the tank biathlon is coming soon to War Thunder. So they're bringing in the tank biathlon, which will be pretty fun. I'm sure it'll be quite an interesting event, mirroring the one which we see from the, obviously, real life. And what you see in this video is stuff which we don't actually have in the game. We talked about on the weekend that a new T-72 version was actually confirmed, and it seems like this video confirms it once again, and we can have a look at which specific T-72s they're talking about. So let's have a look at the video. Let's see what it's about. It's only 30 seconds long, so we can obviously see it all. You can see it is the tank biathlon itself. You can see the vehicles in real life, but then also modeled in the game, which is kind of interesting. I'll just increase the HD so you can see all of these vehicles. And luckily, on the Tech Hub, we have a moderator called Kate. Now, Kate is a wonderful individual, moderates the text channels incredibly well. And one of the pictures I do want to bring up is this one, where it shows all of the vehicles in their entirety. Let's see, there we go. So what Kate has done is Kate has worked out what are these vehicles. And what he's found is these vehicles, it's obviously a T-72, so now we know which ones they are. This is a T-72B3, but this isn't just a standard T-72B3. What you have to understand, and as I said, thank you to Kate for this information. It's very kind of him for laying this out as simply as it is, since it is very confusing when it comes to all of these variants. So this version seems to be a T-72B3 2011, but it lacks certain things. So here is the picture of the thumbnail. I'll probably use this in my thumbnail so you can have a look at it. But this is a standard T-72B3 that you can see right here. The difference between this one and the one that is shown in the... Oh, this is a 2011, sorry, T-72B3. The difference between this one and the one shown in the video is it lacks one entire K5 block mount, so that the driver can get into the tank normally, and of course is missing the K5 side skirts, which would be placed over the rubber mud flats. So basically, this one seems to be a 2011 variant of the T-72B3, but it is slightly different compared to the standard one, which you end up with. It's the major reasons probably why the one that we see out of the biathlon event is different to the standard one is probably because there's not really much reason to have that K5 set on it. You know, the side skirts being removed, and you know, the K5 side skirts being removed, and also missing, you know, some of the K5 on the other parts of it. It's basically just a special biathlon version of the machine, specifically made for it, probably because, you know, it isn't really needed. The biathlon variants, they mostly come out with minor downgrades. This is probably either to reduce weight or just to remove unnecessary equipment that these, you know, machines need. And basically, this machine will have probably an 840 horsepower engine, so it should be, you know, pretty decent. But if it does turn out to be a later variant of the T-72B, it will end up having the V92S2F, which has around 1100 horsepower. The major difference as well is also a panoramic sight for the commander. You can find that right here. This isn't actually present on these machines, as you can see, so therefore this is just kind of an extension to show that the differences between the vehicle and what we would see in real life, since, as we said, there's a bunch of different variants of the B3, but there are a few interesting ones as well. So you actually have the 2016 version of the B3, which is this one, which you can see that it has the relict ERA instead of the K5 ERA, which makes it look really nice. So we might even get this one, even though this would be very different from what we see here. So the major differences are all external from this T-72 from this image, and they could easily be added on, whether they want, you know, the vehicle to actually be a little bit more beefy, or if they wanted it to be a little bit faster with obviously the less armor on it. Maybe we could even get two versions, one with the armor and one without the armor. Another version to also look at when it comes to the T-72B3. Obviously this is seen as the 2011 one. There's also one from 2014, which is the one which is right here. And you can see it has a beautiful skin on it. So all of these machines do have access to thermals, so no matter what happens when it comes to these machines, whichever one is picked or whichever one it is, then yes, they will have thermals, which is really nice. It also has the Cessna U as the thermal sight imager, which is a second generation thermal sight for the gunner, which is lovely. And they all have, of course, the 125mm. The major differences between them, as we said, is basically the armor packages and also which engine they have. So we'll have to see further confirmation on which T-72 this is, but it is definitely a T-72B3, probably a 2011 version with some less armor on it. But the main thing is, now we know that they're going ultra-modern with the T-72s, and it makes sense, because these are basically the first T-72s which had thermal sights. So, you know, if you wanted to pick other T-72s, whether it be the prototype one, whether it be a variant of one from, you know, the late 80s with the upgraded armor, still struggles with the thermal sight issues. And since thermal sights at high tiers are seen as a large thing now, well, now you're getting a T-72 with that. Will this be the new kid on the block, you know, the new best top-tier MBT for War Thunder, for the Soviets? It's hard to tell. The T-80U is still incredibly strong, so we'll have to see in the future. I think this could definitely pivot to the post, but I'm not confident in saying that yet until at least we see it on the dev server. As always, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd like to thank Ambrosius McClellan, B. Young, Battling Bacon, Blackie, Chris Giltnane, Conte Baraka, Daniel Stanton, Elove Goat, Jay Wilt, Martinez, Trigger Hippie, Universe, Eugens Terry, and also I'm Devilish and Samuel Slick for supporting the channel.